Chris with HobbyKing.com, and we've got some 3D printer filament that we're going to talk about today. So if you're not familiar with 3D printers, it's what's known as an additive type of machine, and what that means is that it extrudes out a type of plastic and it builds up on top of that. And that varies from standardized CNC machining, where you have a block or a billet where you remove material to create the item itself. So if you're extruding out of material, you need plastic, and that's what we're talking about today. So additive machines have been a big splash on the market here for about 3 years, and they've really become mainstream here recently. So we wanted to carry some filament for that, and we've actually got the complete range of eSun of filament. And yes, it is definitely a prelude to something coming very big from HobbyKing, but that's for another video. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this printer filament. We've got it in two spool sizes, the half a kilogram, which is the smaller spool, and of course the 1 kilogram. Comes in all different types of colors and shapes and flavors in between. But the two major ones that we're going to talk about today is ABS and PLA. Those are the ones that most people use, and each have their good and bad virtues. So let's go ahead and talk about PLA first. Now, PLA is a type of plastic that's actually stronger than ABS, but because of it, think of it as stronger but more brittle when it gets to that point. It'll either crack or snap versus bend, where ABS will bend or kink. But it takes a lot more pressure for it to do that. So each has their pros and cons, so you need to think about what it's going to be used for. A quad frame, is it going to be a keychain? ABS might be a little more durable, has a higher temperature on it, melting point, which might make it more suited for some type of applications. In real world type applications, ABS is a very common plastic used in everything from the Nova body shell to Legos is actually ABS type of plastic. Now PLA is very accurate and has very consistent flow rates. So it's mainly used for like high resolution 3D modeling is normally used with PLA, and it has less shrinkage as well. So a lot of people use it for structural or mechanical type of designs that they're trying to proof as well. There's a lot of information on eSun's website, which are linked to each of these, so you'll be able to click on that and get some information for the machine setups as far as temperatures and flows, as well as what type of filament would be best for you. And we're going to be diving into this. We're going to have a series coming up on 3D printer filament, like I said, with the item that's coming out very, very soon. But a couple things about the eSun filament itself. There's a lot of filaments on the market. A lot of people say, oh, don't use cheap filament. The main reasons for that is that you could clog your nozzles, because they normally use a very thin nozzle, either 0.2 to 0.4 millimeter on those nozzles. So you don't want any type of debris or contaminants in it. Varying thickness on the material itself. You're either running 3 millimeter or 1.75. And if you were to measure like a piece over here and it's 1.76 and over here it's 1.78, as it's extruded out, the machine needs to calculate the exact amount of plastic it's squirting out. So if the thickness is varying, then the flow rate is varying, and then it shows up in your print. So this stuff has 0.05 millimeter tolerance, one of the best you can get as far as that's concerned. A very even melting point across all the plastic, and that's the eSun filaments here, as well as a couple other things that I've noted into the web copy of these types of filaments as well. They're priced extremely reasonable, and they are going to all the local warehouses as well, so shipping should not be a concern. Definitely check these out under the new items page, as well as if you take a look at the left bar, we've got a new bar that's 3D printers. Has 3D printer parts, meaning like control boards and stepper motor drivers, as well as a subcategory, which would be filaments and capped on tape and things like that. And obviously some other products that are going to be showing up in there. So as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel and check these out, and we will see you next time.